All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. That was a weird, that song just kind of ended like that. How are we all doing today? I got already some questions out here in chat from yesterday's show, which is good. I like it when I say something that means that means somebody watched, I guess, right? Couple things today. So the logo that I had up there to start the show today, not my normal little video, are things that I got from Seahawks training camp. Football season's getting upon us here, and I'm a huge football fan, and I'm one of these. I'm one of these people that kind of gets sucked into the sayings or whatever, right? But the Seahawks have got this really great set of sayings, and two of them are chasing edges and mob mentality or mob ties, and I want to talk about those today because not that they relate to craps so much or relate to gambling so much, but the way that Mike McDonald, the coach, presents those to the players and what it means to that team, I started thinking about it in terms of all of us and the kind of way that we kind of come together, the way that we describe strategies, the way that we all play together. And I wanted to kind of just get into it with you. So let's look at it really quick. And before we do that, I got some announcements and some other things that are kind of going on here. So first, from the community notes standpoint, Garrison, who just now texted me. Hang on, I'm going to go check my messages here. Actually, as I'm talking to you, he sent me a text message. I got to give him a call today. Anyway, he's got a show tomorrow on his channel, Garrison Craps, for John Patrick. Now, as you know, John Patrick, where's my book? Here it is. Oh, Jesus, I dropped a bunch of chips. The book, the John Patrick, So You Want to Be a Gambler. This is the best book in the world for craps players, by the way. The green book is awesome. A lot of us cut our teeth watching John, right? I was in Jersey back when I knew John, and it was more he had the cable show back then. So he had the VCR tapes. Obviously, we all had the VCR tapes. Some of us had the books. I had the original book that I lost over the years, and Garrison got me another one, which is fantastic. But he also had the cable access show, which was great. And anyway, I learned so much from him. I don't really even play the way he plays anymore. This book has got, by the way, half the book is theory, half the book is just different ways to play. All these strategies. I'm not paying $200 for a strategy, but I'll pay $20 for a book with strategies in it. Anyway, John was a legend, especially when it comes to money management, to looking at your gameplay in terms of master bankroll, session bankroll, series bankroll. The guy was transformational in that respect. So many books on gambling. He was more about how to manage your money, how to be a professional. Like I say all the time, I'm not a professional gambler, but I play like a pro. That's the difference between me and a lot of other people. And I think a lot of people try and give those same vibes out, right? It's like play like a pro doesn't mean you play for a living. But when you incorporate money management and discipline and all the things we talk about, John was the guy. So tomorrow night on Garrison's channel, you'll get to hear from John's daughter, from Garrison, from some other people who knew John well. And I think we'll be able to share a lot of cool stories. So if you know of John Patrick and you've heard of the book and all the things, get out there and watch that tomorrow night on Garrison's channel. It's going to be a really good show. I was texting with Chris also from Dice Degen this morning about fantasy football. I'd kind of forgotten about it. My soon-to-be, I think, daughter-in-law, Malia, asked about, are we doing the team this year? And I said, I'm not sure. Let me ask Chris. So I asked Chris, and he said, yeah, of course we are. So if you're interested in fantasy football, let me or Chris know. You have our email addresses. Mine is john@procraps.net. Chris, you can find his on Dice Degen's channel. Just drop us a note that you want to play, and Chris will get you all hooked up. I think we do like a small entry fee to kind of help, fund the league or whatever like that. So it's just in good fun. I think we had 12 people last year. We may have to do 2 leagues, if we have enough people. I think one year we did like a more high price league and a low price league, like a $25 league and a $100 league. Anyway, if you want to play, let me and Chris know. And the last thing, which I had not been mentioning enough of, is Joe from Blue Collar Craps has got his dice tracker. He released it, I think, last week. I was actually down in Oregon last week. I told you that's why I didn't have any shows. When Joe released it, I knew he was doing it, but I hadn't seen it really, so anyway, he's got a few levels of access, which is like his PDF on his blue collar crap style. There's an interactive spreadsheet. It's a program, and I don't mean a program like a computer program. I mean like it's a program like a mental workout program for craps players. It's dice tracking, it's analysis, it's dice, it's all the things. It's really, really cool. The only downside to it for me is that it's Excel. It's an Excel spreadsheet. I don't have Excel. I gotta buy Excel. I told Joe, I said I'm still gonna buy the program from you, even though I can't run it until I pay for Excel. I just don't like paying, $300 a year for the freaking Office access. Just let me. What happened, by the way, in chat? What happened to being able to buy software? Like, when did that go away? Everything is Adobe Photoshop and all that stuff used to be, it was $1,000, but you could buy it and own it. Office used to be able to buy it and own it. Now everything's, you're like renting it for $500 a year or whatever. It's crazy how much software is this whole, whatever you call it, subscription model. I hate the subscription model, right? That's why with Nexus, one thing me and David talked about with our app is we're not doing that. Like, when you buy the Craps app, you own the Craps app. You own Roulette. You buy it once, you own it forever. I'm not doing that thing. I'm not doing the thing where you buy the app and you got to pay all the time. I'm not doing the thing where you buy the app and you got to pay for new chips. I'm not doing any of that stuff, right? We will charge a small fee for the online stuff because we have to pay the bills, because we have to pay for servers. But if you don't want that, I don't give two craps. You own the software. And I think Joe's doing it right. Pay Joe, get the software, own the software. It's a genius model. It's genius, right, Joe? There you go. That's what you want in the world. Anyway, so I gotta go buy Microsoft 365 now, so I gotta pay $500 to Bill Gates or Steve Ballmer so I can give Joe $100 for his app. Anyway, that's do I know students get the home and student version. My daughter is a student, actually. I should probably leech off of her, right? Anyway, that whole thing just drives me nuts. And anyway, go to Joe's channel. You all know Joe. He's right here in the chat. Joe, you can put out in the chat the link if you want to. Put the link out to your website. Let folks know where it's at. Actually, if you want to, Joe, put a comment in the comment section of the video, and I'll pin it. And that way people can find you easier. So anyway, check that out. It's Joe's Brain. It's Joe's Brain on sale for you guys, and it's actually 100% worth the money. So okay, let's get into it here for today. We always start the same way, reminding ourselves, and somebody reminded me yesterday in comments to not forget to mention this, right? The casinos exist for two things, right? One is obviously to make money. They're a business. The way that they make money, though, like all businesses make money by taking your money. The exchange, however, here is nothing, right? You go to a restaurant, you get food. You go to a store, you get clothes. You go to the casino, you just get beat. That's pretty much what it is. You have a chance to win, but for the most part, they're here to take all your money. And the thing is, they don't have to try. They don't have to cheat. They don't have to do anything but be open. And we was like lemmings, walk on in there and give up the money. And the few of us that get good at it, and mostly it's sports bettors, it's blackjack guys, with the advantage play, they won't let you play. They'll find ways to get you out of there. They'll find ways to back you off. They'll change the game setup, back wall and craps, the continuous shuffler for blackjack. They find ways to make sure you can't get them. There it is. Garrison's here, baby. All right, it's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Do I have 6 on my? I think I had 6 on my thing. It's 5 o'clock tomorrow night. All right. It's going to be a great show, by the way. I mean, Garrison's one of the few people who really know John well. Like, Garrison could call John on the phone and just talk to him. Nobody else gets to do that, right? So I think we have a unique insight tomorrow on not just John's impact on the world of gamblers, but on John's life. So anyway, let's do that tomorrow night. I'll see y'all there. All right. So how do you get past this horrific kind of world of the casino, right? You've got tools, and none of them are tangible, except for your bankroll. Your bankroll is a way that you can handle loss. It's a way that you can leverage wins. Other than that, everything else is in your head. It's how do you view and how do you approach risk? What is your intelligence level? Do you understand the games you're playing? Do you have discipline? Money management? Can you walk away when you're up or down in your window? Do you have a window? Do you set a goal? How is your emotional control? All those things are you. They're all you issues, you problems, you solutions. That's the tool you've got. And if you don't have it, any of these things, you're going to be in trouble. That's why shows like mine and Ken's and other people that talk through these concepts, it's this, right? It's this book, Everyday Live. We're doing teaching like John did, Everyday Live. It's what we do because we care not about giving you the next greatest strategy, although today I'm going to give you one. It's not about that. It's about your approach in the casino, about how you get after it in the casino. And that's kind of what when I first started the show, I had the Seahawks thing, right? The mob mentality and the chasing edges arrow thing. This is what's on the arrow. And let me show it to you again. Look, I'm just going to show you really quick. We'll come right back to me here. Where's my mouse? Mousey. It's chasing edges and mob ties. And what does that mean, right? Well, it means this. Wrong side. It means the way the Seahawks teach football is this. We go through, not around, right? It's an attack system, right? They stack wins. This is one of the best things I can talk about. They stack wins, right? Every play builds on itself. Every alignment builds on itself. Can you see a correlation here to what we do in gambling, right? They use old school principles, but with new school tactics. And I think that's some of the things that we're trying. Some of the old school ways of playing, a little bit of regression up and pull, a little one unit thing, smaller tactical things, but played in a new way. That's how we approach stuff. That's how I approach things most of the time. And you'll see that in the way that I show you to play today. I think the football mentality of being decisive, being relentless, and I love this one, being shocking, right? Finding interesting, decisive, relentless, shocking ways to play the game of football, to approach a table, to me is interesting. The style that nobody wants to play. That's what's on the arrow, on the chasing edges logo for this. I saw that, and Mike McDonald always talks about chasing edges, but he never showed the graphic until Hard Knocks. And now I'm like, I understand what they're talking about. I understand how they teach it. And all that makes sense to me as a gambler too. Actually, in my life, it makes sense. You know what I mean? I love platitudes that I can translate to my life. Okay. Mob mentality, MOB, by the way, mission over bullshit. That's what that means. It means nothing else matters. I always say separate the fly shit from the pepper. That's one of my favorite sayings. Mob mentality is the same thing. Mission over bullshit. It's the same idea. Just stay on task. Don't let the white noise of the world take you off task. Stay focused. I love that. So anyway, that is what I want to kind of, I just saw that and I really wanted to share it with you and sort of know that this is the kind of stuff that guides me when I go through our shows and the strategies and all that kind of stuff. So that's what it is. I'm going to address a couple of questions here before I start today's show, and then I'll come back through. If you have questions moving forward, y'all let me know. Garrison, I don't know if you can put a link in chat, but put it in the comment section for sure, and I'll make sure everybody knows about it. So make sure you get the link out there, and I'll share it up. I don't do Facebook at all, by the way, so I can't share it on Facebook, but I'll share it out here. All right, I got a little hiccup here. Let's see what we got in chat real quick before we start the actual show. So, you know what? I saw Skill that that Color had put the video out. I hadn't watched it yet. I was in a movie. I went to see the Odyssey last night, so I didn't watch the video yet. But he's done that system before, and I'm glad that Jeremy shouted him out. Everybody should. We all should have a day that we do like a John Patrick strategy. The super system is fantastic. All right. Let's see. Gary says he never thought of variance the way I showed it yesterday. It's interesting, isn't it, when you see it for real? Like all the crazy crap that can actually happen, it all happens, and Terry's giving this, right? The example of the stadium, right? With the coin flips. I don't know the math on it. There's a bunch of videos that kind of talk about that exact experiment. There is math to it related to how many people are there, but I think it takes between 10 and 18 wins to win that contest, right? And it may take more because in the end you may have ties, like two people throwing heads over and over again until somebody ties out. There is math on it, and it's crazy that it's possible, but it's whatever. It's 50% to the 18th power is what that would end up being. Whatever the math of that ends up being, but it could be more because of the tie situation. Anyway, it's a crazy example, isn't it? And it really does, to me, prove it. And like I showed you, if you all remember this, I showed you I ran 10 million rolls. And in 10 million rolls, the most number of 11s in a row that it had was 5. I've seen 6. Just this past year, I've seen 6 11s in a row by a shooter. In 10 million rolls, my simulator couldn't do it. You'll see insanity. Everybody does. You just may not be there when it happens. And like we said, Jimmy over the weekend caught some insanity and couldn't, like, his brain couldn't compute the fact that it happened, right? There was a time in my life when my brain couldn't have computed that that was even possible. Now I'm like, of course, like it doesn't bother me anymore. And that's why when I'm never surprised by a weird outcome, because things just happen. That's math. It's what math does. That's why you have 1,000 PSOs and 50-50 rollers, and you end up at the same average, right? Most of the time it's shitty. Most of the time it's weird. Once in a while you get something really interesting. So I think it's pretty awesome. All right, here we go. Let's go down to my table here and play a little bit. I'm gonna have to switch to this view. Give me a second here. The table view. Can you all see my table? Oh no, there's no table. The hell? Is that camera off? Oh, hold on a second, guys. My camera turned off. Wait a minute. Is it unplugged? What the hell? Hang on. Weird. My overhead camera for some reason was turned off. I don't think it was unplugged. Give it a second to fire up. There it goes. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but she was off. All right, here we go. Let's move this over. By the way, I ordered my I ordered all new tables, all new felts for my table. New felts are ordered, they're shipped, they're coming. They're going to be here soon, and I ordered desktop versions of the felt to match. So it's going to be like my new. Anyway, that's coming soon. Let's do it. Let's show you the strategy that we're working on here. And I don't know I don't have a name yet. But here's my chips here. This is kind of a play on what Ken was doing for a while. He calls it the KKG pyramid. I've got a thing that I do called duck and cover, and I wondered if we can find a way to combine them. So here's the way this works. Now this is, I remember the old days with John Pat doing like a 41 no 10 for a while, and like a 6 and 8, basic little little lay, little bit of front line coverage, get out of the hand and go. So here's what I'm gonna do, and I'll show you first the way that Ken was doing. Ken was doing a $300 lay 10, $300 lay 10. Where's my lay lammer? Okay, that was his first move, and then he was going 135 across, like so, and taking 3 hits, effectively taking 3 rolls, right? So let's say you got a 2, nothing happened. Let's say you got a 4, you win 50. Let's say you got a 6, you win 35. Bets come down, right? And then he would wait out the 7. These go away, right? He's got his whatever he made in profit on that shooter. In this case, it's 85. It could be 70, whatever it is, right? Then he waits out the 7. Maybe the 10 wins. Maybe the 7 comes, he wins an extra 150, and we're out for $200 and change. That was the KKG pyramid. He's waiting for the kind of the pyramid to form, because we know that most shooters, right, even though the average is 8.5, the average number of box numbers is about 3 to 4, right? The average number of live rolls you're going to see is somewhere between 2 and 6 out here in the box once the puck is on. So he's trying to take advantage of where the majority of things happen. The majority of things happen in this really short window. Let's take advantage of the short window. This strategy doesn't keep playing for long runs. It just goes, give me a couple of hits, let me take the 7, and let me run home, which I think is pretty cool. I like to play, though. I like to play a little longer than that. So what I did was I said, well, look, let's take the way I like to play. So my favorite right side play is duck and cover. And if you haven't seen duck and cover, it's very simple. It's a 2-hit strategy, maybe 3. Okay? The first hit we're out here 110 inside. My first hit on a number would win $35. Okay. I'll take a number down. Whatever hit, it comes down, and we go to a $10 bet. So we duck out of the way, but we still cover the number. That's where the name comes from. Duck out of the way, cover the number. So now I've got $50 in the rack. I started with 110. So I've got almost half my money recovered, right? Craps is a game where you have to recover your spread before you can play. That's the one difference of craps to every other game. You cover your spread quickly, calling it getting out of the hand, right? So that's the first one. The second hit of a number is $35. And again, I'll take a number down. I'll put it back up. I'll duck out of the way and cover it up. I got $100 back. I'm out for 110. I'm in for 100. Effectively speaking, I'm playing for free. Not really. I got $10 in action. I take the third hit. Whatever the third hit is, it's the same bet. If it's the 5, then it's a $14 win, right? I got my 110 back. I got $4 in profit, and I'm playing. That's duck and cover. At this point, I could take these two down, make them look like 10, $12. If I do that, then I'm still going, right? I got my money back. I got profit, and that's duck and cover. Very simple. As the roll goes, your risk is gone, right? One hit, half the risk. Second hit, almost all your risk. Third hit, lock profit. That's it. The 3-hit strategy. And you're playing. That's my duck and cover. I like the fact, though, that we got the lay 10. So what I'm going to do with mine is this. We're going to take out of our rack $400. Oh my God, on the lay 10. Lay for 400, which is a lot. I don't like laying bets very much, but this is an interesting way to do it. Lay for 400. We're going to go with that same across bet, 135 across. The extra quarter that I got is going to go to the hard 10. Okay, now this is a little bit, there's two hedges going on at the same time, and one of them is not complete. But here's what I typically say is hedge to win. So I got 135 plus 25, 160 in action on the right side. 160 on the right side. $200 lay would win 200, okay, minus the VIG, minus a $10 VIG. So it wins 190. So if I catch a 7, my net's going to be $30. I'll lose 160. I'll win 200. My net's going to be 30. So this lay actually wins the same as one of these bets would win. They win 35. This one's 30. We're in essentially the same spot. Okay. If the hard 10 comes, we would still lose the 400, and I'd win over here 7-1. I'd win 175, about half. This is not a full hedge, it's a half a hedge, but you'll see why in a minute. Okay, that's the first move. So what we do is on hit 1, again, I'm looking for duck and cover style hits here. So whatever hits is coming down. All right. I'll put some whites in my rack just to have my drink money, but it's my regression money. Okay. So let's say we catch a number. And again, the idea here is to catch a couple of hits, just like duck and cover. Here we go. Let's say the 5 rolls. It's $35 and it comes down duck and cover style. I get $50 back. Now, right now, I went from 160 in risk. I got 50 of it back. I'm 110 in risk. I don't need 400 up here. I'm going to also duck and cover the lay bet. The lay bet comes down by 100. We'll start looking at the rack here. The lay bet comes down by 100. Now, my actual risk here, again, is 110. I got $50 out of the 160 back. So I have 110 in right side action. I got $300 in a lay bet. This $300 lay bet would win 150 minus VIG, minus about $7. Guess what? This is more than that. This 150 is more than 110. On the 7, I still win about $35, $40. On these numbers here, I still win about $35, $40. If the hard 10 comes, I still lose 300, but I win 175. This only cost me 125 for that bet up there. Okay. That's the first hit. The second hit, let's just say it's the, I lost my thing. Let's say it's the 4. Okay. A miracle. We got a 4. That's fantastic, right? The 4 will come down. We're going to duck and cover it. So I'll pay it in reds. Duck and cover the 4. Now my rack has almost all of it. I got $115 in the rack out of the 160 that I was out there, at the 160 in risk, which means my actual risk on the right side right now is 160 minus 115 on this bet. So at $35 in risk, right? I can again take the lay down. I can take it down in this case to $100 if I wanted to. I don't need the whole lay anymore because 100 is more valuable. The $50 is more than I have at risk. My actual risk for what's out here, because I got some back, this lowered lay bet still covers the action that I've got. I don't need the full 400 the whole damn time. So I reduce the lay as I go based on what risk I have out here now, if that makes sense. So we're ducking and covering here and here. Now, if I catch a hard 10, it's a winner. The hard 10 actually now produces $75 because my layback got reduced down. Why is all this important? Well, here's the reason why it's also important. It's definitely a it's kind of a math play. And here's, I don't love hedging. You know me. If you know me, right? I don't love hedging. But we're choosing, I'm going to set all that back up again, put all this money back in the bank. We're choosing to fight this number instead of the 7, right? So you have these vectors of risk, right? So one vector of risk is how many ways can a number lose? How many ways can you lose? Here, I can only lose to 3 combinations. I can only lose to the 6-4, to the 4-6, and the 5-5. I can lose to 3 combinations, not 6. So I've reduced the number of ways to lose, okay? Because I'm only 3 rolls in or 3 hits in, I've also reduced the length of time that this bet has to sit there. Because it's a bigger bet, so the other vector of risk here is the size of the bet. It's a huge bet, but it's for a short time, and it's against a fewer number of rolls or a fewer number of combinations. So I've reduced the number of combinations that can beat me. I've reduced the time that's going to be out there, and but the price for that is that it's got to be enormous. So let's run this out really quick. Again, I'll leave the white chips in here. They're there in case the 6 or 8 come down and hit. I'm going to move this over to this side of the table. So you can still see it, I think, but it's not kind of in our way. And I'm going to roll it out. How much money is out here? 560. It's 400 and 160. That's what it takes to get through this. I got some change to cap the 6 and 8 when they come down. And that's the whole thing. I'm going to run it out today. I want comments in the chat for what do y'all think of the strategy. And 4D Crafts has got some stuff out there. As you watch me do this, okay, just give me your seat of the pants reactions. I mean, some of you are going to say, holy crap, John, $400 lay is ridiculous. It is kind of ridiculous, but the fact that this move makes $100 when it works, 2 hits, or hit is $100. I can recover this loss in 2 or 3 shooters. And I'll give you another option here in a minute. Here we go. Let's go on out. There's aces. I'm going to work the whole time, by the way. I'm never going to be off. There's a 6. When I've got 7 coverage, there's no reason to not work the come out. All right. 6 is the point. We get hit with the 6 right away, which is great because we're working the come out. That will come down, duck out of the way, and cover it up. There's some money back. $55 back in the rack. All right, here we go. Next one, another 6. That's okay. Here's what's going to happen. It's going to pay $14. Okay. I need green hits, not red hits. So what we do here is we're actually going to press that up to $24. I need 2 to 3 green hits. So that's kind of a wasted one, but we'll pull it down here in a minute. That was the point, by the way. The new point's going to be 9. That pays 35. And the 9 will come down. And again, look at the rack. Where's my rack? I have $105 in the rack. Okay. I already hit the 6 once. I have a choice here. Right. Oh, I forgot to pull my lay bet down. The lay bet would have been pulled down that first one. So my lay bet now is down at $200, by the way, for my overall risk. Now, my overall risk now is $15 because I was out, or I'm sorry, $45. I was out there for 160. So we need to get another hit out here because of the 6 getting hit the second time. I need one more green hit to be done. Lay bets reduce. Why? Because I have, again, 160 to start. I have 105 back. So I'm $55 in the hole. This lay bet will win me $100. This covers everything, even though it's been reduced. Here we go. One more roll. It's an 8. That's perfection. Okay, that pays 35. The 8 comes down. My rack now has 150, 160. There's the 160. I can pull the lay down. And there's my starting bankroll for that shooter. I don't need this anymore. That's actually profit. There's my starting bankroll. There's my first quarter in profit. I can pull the 10, and I'm playing for nothing. Now, playing for nothing could also mean this. I can push these forward, right? I can make my 6 look like 12, make my 5 look like 10, and leave the 4 and 10 out of it, or bring them into it and still have $55 in profit and playing across. So the idea here is to get across as fast as you can. 3 rolls or 3 hits and we're across. For free. The lay bet did its job by holding us in the game. And again, reduce as we go. That's the idea. Lay bet's huge, but it goes down with every single hit. These bets are big. They go down with every single hit, and you're left with a playable game. You're left with 64 across. I've got $57 in profit. My money's back. If the 10 would have got picked off, that would have sucked, but I would still have the $50. If the 10 would have got picked off, by the way, where would we be in that same situation, right? The 10 gets picked off and the move still works. There's 100, 15, 120 off the table when the 10 gets picked, which means it depends on which roll it was. I got to recover 400, 300, or 200, but I've already got $100 started, which means a couple of more runs and we're out. All right, let's play it again. I'm not going to run the roll out. I'm going to show you I don't care about the roll going along. I just want to show you what it looks like to get out of the hand. When you get out of the hand, you can play 64. You can do what you want to. I'll give you some options. Here we go. Let's do it again. Reset my rack. Let's go out. 400 on the lay 10. 135 across with a $10 hard 10. Again, duck and cover every roll. We're on all the time. It's a 7. Lose 160. Win 200. Where's my lay lammer? Lose 160. Win 200. I can do all the moves here, right? I'll show you it works. Move, lose 160. Win. I'll pay $200 in greens. Minus VIG. Right? So lose. We win 190. When all that goes away, this 190. Look at this. Look at this. Bang. Right back where we were. $30 in profit. So the 7 actually did good for us. We'll leave the lay up here. We get a little jump start. I don't need to have 3 hits. I just need 2 hits now. Right? We're watching the rack to see how fast I can get 160 up in here. Okay? That's an 8. That pays 35. I'm going to drop 2 out of my rack and say make it look like 10 or 12. Duck out of the way. Cover the number. Bring $100 off that lay. Now my rack has $85. Again, I'm out for 160. I'm in for 85, which means I got about $80 in risk. Up here, I have $300 on the lay. That'll win me 150. That's actually an aggressive lay still. After that first hit, this could be reduced to 200 to win 100 against the 85. I'm going to keep it at 3 though, because I want to make sure the 7 is still strong. So again, we took an early 7, little bonus bet. We got 1 green hit. There's a 4. That's fantastic. It pays $50. We'll duck it out of the way. We'll cover it up. Bring the lay bet down again by another 100. And where are we at? There's $150 in the rack. We were out for 160. I consider us to be done. Right? We're out of the hand. There's the 400. There's 150. If I take my lay bet down, or my hard 10 down, exchange that for reds. There's my starting bankroll. There's $15 in profit plus all of this. Right? You set yourself up in a couple of 2-3 rolls to be out quick, lock up a little bit, and be playing. And if I was behind, if I was chasing a torn up lay 10 from before, if I was, chasing a loss, there's 75, 100 and change. Every time that this thing works, it's about $100 that you end up with. If you're chasing a lost 10, do that a couple times and you'll get your 10 back. If you're here for a daily paycheck, that move one time is $100 every time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, $100. If I lose $400 one day and I win $500 or $100 the other 4 days, I'm even for the week. You follow me? That's the play. So in this particular case, we could actually just go out and play across. Let's take a quarter out of that. Okay, there's that. We go across. I can still lock up $55. I'm playing 64 across, and Bob's drunk. We let the roll run its course, and I can catch a hot roll, or I can make this part of my daily profit and walk away. I could have left it where it was. I could have left all the greens out there, right? I'll do that next time. Here we go. Let's do it one more time. And again, I'm going to put the profit back in the bank. This is just a demonstration of how to get out of the hand, how the basics of this thing work. How the profit rolls through and how you keep playing is up to you. I just want to get the first move out of the way. Here we go again. We'll set it one more time. And then the last time we do it today, I'll play it out all the way through. Here we go. We're just dodging the easy 10. That's it. Dodging the easy 10. Here we go. Ready, set, go. That is an 11 yo. It doesn't matter. That's a 5. So there's the point. Is it going to be 5? It pays 35. We duck out of the way, cover it up, duck out of the way, and keep this covered. There's one black. And again, we're chasing this number over here. Our total risk, again, is not 135 anymore, right? It's 125, 130, 140 is out here, right? We brought money back plus this. That's why this is so much lower. And if I get a 10 here, I'll show, or a 7, I'll show you how that works out. The 6 pays 35. Make it look like 12 in a second here. We're going to take this 5 as change. Looks like 12. That's our second hit. I'll bring another black chip down. So I have half my lay bets are back in the rack already, right? My overall exposure here, again, 160 out. I got 103 in. So I'm not quite home yet. I need that third hit to get there, okay? Which is fine. We have on the felt, again, 25, 50, 75, 100, 10, 20, 126 or so in change. 127 is out here. This lay over here will win us 100, but again, we have $100 in the rack, so we're going to be in good shape. Let's do it. That's off the table. It was a 7, but it's off the table. I won't take the money. There's an 8, $35. 25, 35, the 8 comes down to 12, and now we're done. Okay, there is the lay bet comes down. That's your $400 lay. There's 150. The 10. If it comes down, I take it as reds. There's my 160. That's my entire starting bankroll. And there's my profit. I got $21 in the rack, and I'm still playing. What I probably do here is this. Make the 6 and 8 look like back again, looking like $30 because it's a better bet. I'll take the 9 for $10. I may add the 4. I may add the 10 and just play it out, right? Take no profit, but play at a nice level here. If I want to keep this hand going for myself, I got money back. I got drink money, and I'm playing out here for 30, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100, right? Let the roll happen. If it's going to be a great roll, it's a great roll. There's a 9. That'll pay 15 for 1, right? We'll go up and pull. We got a midnight. There's I think it's a tall. There's aces. That's definitely the ATS, right? There's a 6 that pays 35. Okay. I might same bet that at this point, right? I could also drop a couple of bucks and make it look like 42, right? Keep a quarter and take 50 for 1 the next hit, that kind of thing. There's another 9. 15 pays, I'm out of reds. 15 pays 21. Uh-oh. What fell? Oh, my own air sign. 15 pays 21. And again, I might go, in this case, up 2 units and pull some back. Okay, and why up 2 units? Because it makes it an even quarter. Now I'm back playing at green levels in here. Again, looking for a 50 for 1 shot. Looking for whatever. I won't regress the second time. There's the 7. That ends it. But we were out of the hand. I'll leave this out here so we can see what we have. We were out of the hand. We got 25, 40 and change in profit, which is fine. We had on the table 75, 125. 125 on the table. Okay. Again, if that $40 plus the 175 is your goal for the day, you don't play the rollout. You press it up until you get to this point and you get the hell out of Dodge. Pull it back, right? You could have put it all the 6 and 8. You could have put it all the 4 and 10. You could have done whatever you wanted to. After you're free and clear, I don't care what you do, right? You want to pocket it and go home and be the disciplined hero. That's fantastic. You want to keep playing and hope for the hot run. Also fantastic. You have the choice after you're out. The point is getting out and getting out in a safe way. You are dodging this crazy number over here. You're looking for the 10 not to come and grab you. Most of the time it won't. You only have 2 ways to lose this bet. You have the 6-4 and the 4-6. That's it. Even the 5-5 covers half of your loss, right? The 5-5 still covers half of it for the first roll or two. So the worst thing that can happen is a 6-4-10. The best thing that can happen is that you win $100 and make a decision. That's the idea of the strategy. Now, what happens if you get picked? Here's the question. Let's put it out there. Let's go with the $400. And again, let's do this really quick because I don't have a whole ton of time, but there's that. Let's say that the worst possible thing happens, right? The puck is off and we catch this. We catch our 6-4. We're like, oh my God. 6-4-10. We lose both of them. We lose 4 1/4. Okay. So what do you do in this case here? There's a couple of things you can do. Okay. One is you can continue to fight naked. You lost $400. You can keep this out here and fight naked the same way, right? Maybe you get lucky and you catch one of the numbers and you can duck out of the way and there's 100 or there's 50. You catch a second number. It's the 5. Duck out of the way. And you can look at your setup and go, well, there's the 150. There's the 160 I started with, the right side starting. And I've got $40, $45 in profit that digs into that. That's one way of approaching it, is playing this thing out, letting the $44 run, making it back that way. The other option that you've got is this. You can leave the numbers out there. I'll put them back out. And go, well, I just got tore up. What do? You could come through the don't with either a $400 bet or a $200 bet. Come to the don't with half. This is what Ken's idea is, right? Having additional money in your rack, obviously. You're going to have some backup money, like your shots, right? But you can come through the don't with a couple $100 and you know, ignoring the 7, there's a cheap aces win, right? There it goes to the 10 again. Now you're on a 10, but it's a 1-to-1 bet. So when the 7 rolls, oh God, there's 6-4. If the 7 rolls, that $200 covers all of this. So that's what it looks like, right? You can kind of come through. I'll talk to Ken a little bit about some ways to sort of come back from that loss on the 10. He's got some pretty creative ways of doing it, right? Coming through the don't is one way. Taking all this down and just doing a don't and letting the right side just kind of die on the vine, I would say go 44, let it run out. There's so many ways to do that, to recover. I want to spend tomorrow and the next day looking at 10 recovery, because I think we know how it works. If it works, it works. It's nice and easy, right? This thing comes out, right? It's $100 every time if it works. I want to spend the next couple days looking at what happens when it doesn't work. What happens when this happens, when we lose on the 6-4 or the 5-5. In every situation, what's the best move? We're going to work through some of that stuff. Yeah, come out 10 PSO. You know that's what happened to me, right? I get a come out 10 in a PSO. So you got to be careful about that, right? Maybe you take the bets down for a minute, work the don't, put the bets back up, and redo it, because you can do the same thing, right? If I have a $200 don't come through, I can still come out here at 110 inside, right? With the $200 straight don't and a 110 inside, that same move still works. If you think about that, right? You come from the don't with $200, right? And let's just get new money here. This is the, some people, you know, I was saying to Ken, some people really want to buy the sausage. Like they want to have the answer. You people, my people, you like seeing how the sausage gets made, right? So I'm not going to charge you for the strategy, but you get to watch me figure it out. That's what the magic is. All right. You could stay out here. You can reset the front at 135 once that $200 don't is set. and you can run the move again. Check this. Let's say you lost the 400. Let's say you lost the 425. You got a don't to go through like we did, and now we're here, right? This could work itself out where the 4 pays 50. I'll pay it like this, right? And it comes down, and we cover it up. And let's just watch, okay? 50. Did I do that right? Yeah, this goes back to the bank. Okay, sorry. There we go. 11, 8, pays 35. Right, and we'll bring it down again. So 50 bucks comes back. Let's just try and watch how this thing rebuilds. Okay, we'll make this look like 12. There's a 5 for 35. Bring it. I'm just going to play this whole thing and never stop duck and cover. Watch how I do this, right? We'll let this all run out. This is a strong bet now, right? Because what I've got back in the rack out of the 135, I've got 115 of it back already, right? There's a 6 for 35. I'll drop 2. Okay, now the 160's back. There's 100. There's 50. There's 160. I'm still chasing 400 over here. 425. I'm still chasing the 425. But I've got some bets. 5. It pays 15 for 1. Now what I'm going to do is a full press. Get it back to a quarter, and we're going to duck and cover a second time. 5. $35, right? Watch. Pull it down. And just keep that same move going. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat that double tap every single time. 3 doesn't matter. 7 out. Okay, cool. So we win a flat 200 on that. So where are we at now, right? Not a great run of numbers, but look at what happened here. I can put 200 bucks back into my reserve stack. I have 200 bucks of the 400 that I lost back. Actually, almost 300 if I take that into account. So I've recovered it back to where I'm only down 100 bucks. Right? If I move this out of the way and do the next shooter, the same old way. I'll reset the whole board the original way and not try the don't again, right? Just come on straight out. There's a 7 right away. So again, it wins 30 bucks. We know this. That wins 30 bucks. A 6, 35. It'll make it look like 12. Again, I'm just going to keep on rebuilding back in here. And I'll do it from this profit stack and this stack up here. There's 100 bucks off the lay. That's a 4. That pays 50 bucks. We'll do it like this. It pays 50 bucks. It goes back to the rack and out for 10. Lay bet comes down a second time. 6-5 EO. 6-4 10, of course, right? That's actually really good. So we lose that again. We lose this one as well. So we lost the 10. We virtually lost it once. Now I lost it for real, but I'm still out here playing. Let's take a look, though, where we are. I've got one shooter recovered completely, right, in that move. If I take this, what I have in the rack, what I've collected, plus what's out here, let me see what a reset looks like. Let's see how close we are to being a reset. We have 200 bucks right here. That can be a lay bet. I've got enough in the rack to go 110 inside, plus a $15 4, and I can reset the whole damn thing. Right? Let's recover it. 7. Oh my God, that's the worst possible case. There's everything. Wow. Look at me go with the worst possible scenario, which is cool. What time I got? 8:20? I got 10 minutes. 10 minutes to recover it back. So we lost an entire shooter there trying to come through. But hey, ill time 7s are ill time 7. Let's do it. Let's go out again. Reset the whole damn thing. I'm not going to ladder up. Just going to let it play itself out. Here we go. 7, 30 bucks. 9, 35. Looks like 10. Lay bet comes to 1. 7. This is cool. So we're going to lose 140, 125. We lose 140. We win 150. Win 150. So now we're back here. We can reset everything. We have a black back in the rack. Reset the board. Let's do it. Okay, bets up there. Another 7. $30 winner. A 5 for $35. Duck it out of the way. Take a lay down. Another 7. All right, so we're going to lose again 140. We're going to win 100. That same $150 back. Reset. Put this all back in the rack. Put the lay back up. Reset it again. Here we go. We're building back. See, we have our money out here. We're building back as we go. There's a 9. $35 on the 9. Take that down by 1. 5. $35 on the 5. Take it down by 1. Take it down by 1. Another 9. That pays 15 for 1. Looks like a quarter. Again, we need 3 green hits out of here, right? Yo. An 8. 35. Now, because I'm in recovery mode, we're going to bring it all down. We'll go 64 across. I'll take the lay bets down, and I'll reset the entire thing. Check it out. Ding, ding, ding. This becomes whites. All this comes back. Now, let's reset the rack. There's 400. There's 150. There's 160. So that's one shooter that we had lost before recovered. We have a black. 150. There's 160. So this guy here, the second shooter, is light $300. We're still chasing 300, and that's how I have to look at that. So what do we do to get the $300 back? Now might be the time where we take that $200 and come into the don't with it. Let's run a don't. Watch me get a 7 again. Oh my God. How perfect is that, right? Run that 7 through again is what I was going to try and do. Get another one and maybe get it. That twice coming in the don't, I caught a 7. Isn't that perfect for me, right? Which means everything goes away. But anyway, you get the idea, right? There's ways to recover it. You actually saw, hopefully, that we got back relatively quick to that last one, right? I was actually halfway back to being home before making that move there and burning the house down. So, all right, that's day 1 of the test, right? I'll talk to Ken over text or phone or whatever. We'll adjust a little bit of it. I'll try something different tomorrow, different recovery plan. Keep working through it. We'll keep working through it. You're going to get your 10s. You're going to get your 7s in the wrong time. Shit's going to happen. But I think the first move, the opening play, is perfect. It's the recovery play that needs work. The opening play, I think, is fantastic. If you can get those 2-3 hits, you're good. It's the recovery play that we need to work through. So let's work on the recovery the rest of the week. All right. I'm out of here, guys. I got to go. Actually, let me run up here and just check some chats real quick. Let's go here and let's go here. Let me check the chat really quick for questions, and then I got to get running for work. So, all right. I didn't like the size of the hedge in the unicorn. And I think this one here also is too big. The thing with the unicorn skill was you didn't regress out of the hedge. And the thing I like about this one is regressing the hedge along with the bets. So getting out of that big ass hedge, I think, is the important part of it. Maybe that's the part of the unicorn that we never really explored well enough, but reducing the hedge is better, I think. Again, I don't love the hedging. You know me, I don't love the big hedge, but what are you going to do? Let's see. Chad did not like the hedge. The $100 scares me too. That's why I don't love it. I don't love that. However, it's only the 6-4 that gets you, and it's only for 3 rolls. Right? So you take the number of ways to lose down, you take the time that you're out there down. The amount is the price you pay for that. I don't love it either, but whatever. It is what it is. We got to figure something out, right? All right. Let's see. Dodging the 10 meets duck and cover. What a great blind date. There you go. Let's see. Skill says, taking too long to get out of the hand, in my opinion. 3 hits will not work out. But remember, we have the lay bet skill. So 3 hits total. So it's 2 hits in the box and a 7 is fine. 2 hits and a 7 is 3 hits. It doesn't matter what the 3 hits are, right? 2 green hits or 3 green hits anywhere get you out of the hand effectively. That's the idea. So you don't have to have 3 box hits. You can get 2 box hits and a 7 and you're still in great shape. You're still in perfect. All right. And again, we got to work through that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So, and Ken says, you're right. This version is for the folks who want to keep playing, right? Once you're out and you stay up on the 44, the 64 across, you want to keep on playing. That's what it's built for. If when you get to the point where you can go 64 across, like I was, you can decide, like I showed you, get back in the rack and go home. If you're whatever, $64 plus what you brought back makes your goal, you got to stop. If you're not at goal, use the 64 across to get to your goal. That's kind of the lever that I want to pull there, is like leave that money out there to get to the goal if you're not already there. If you're already there and that money puts you over the edge, you got to stop. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So let's see here. What else do we have in chat? No place to hide, James. You're right. No place to hide. Let's see. Don't want to work the place. Yeah, you're probably right, which I did twice. Both times today I had the DC, burned it, right? That's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't think the duck and cover takes too long. I don't know why you'd say that. So let's go back again, because I think you guys both said the same thing, and I think you're both 100% wrong. And here's what I'm saying. Here's why I say that. The duck and cover part is shorter than the other part, right? If you're doing, let's just put the layup out there. If you're here at 135 across, right? You're doing this. You're taking 3 rolls, which could be an 11, which does nothing, a 2, which does nothing, and 1 number, which does something, in 3 rolls, and you're stopping. Maybe with only 35, maybe with 70, maybe with 105. In 3 rolls, you're getting this much money back, right? But for those 3 rolls, your risk is always the same. You bring back $35, right? You've reduced your risk by $35. What I'm doing is reducing my risk by $50. So I'm reducing my risk faster. So I take 35 and go down to here. I brought back 50, not 35. Now, granted, I have a reduced number, but I've reduced my risk quicker than just same betting it. By doing the regressions here, a second regression, my risk is gone, right? Whereas if you took $70 off of 2 hits, right, your risk is still $30 higher than my risk was in that same span of time. The duck and cover part of this thing reduces the risk. That's why I like it. Here and here. It may be 1 roll slower, or because I needed 3 hits instead of 3 rolls, but the risk goes down so fast, and that's not to be trivialized. Going from pulling back 70 versus pulling back 100 is a big deal. $30 is a big deal. That $30 difference between what I'm pulling back and what you're pulling back is a big deal. That's a whole hit extra accelerated. In 2 hits, I've got your entire play in the rack. You're getting 105, I'm getting 100. I'm getting it in 2 hits, you're getting it in 3 rolls. I don't think this takes too long. I think the decision is, when you're here, when you're in this position, it's what do you do? Do you stop playing here, or do you leave 3 bets at the green level? Or do you bring the green bets down and play something a little bit lighter? Right? Do you do something like this? It's really about the decision that you make when you're there. I think duck and cover is faster, not slower, than same betting 3 times. The difference is your 3 rolls, I'm 3 hits. The third hit could take a minute because you might get one of those other rolls you're not getting paid on. I'll stay out here for it. That's the only real difference, Ken, I think, in the 2 ways of playing. Same bet, same bet, same bet versus come down, come down, come down. Right? I would rather reduce the risk and have a chance to play or a chance to walk versus having to have 3 on multiple shooters. So anyway, it's all tomato stuff. We'll talk about it later on. Let's see. And yeah, and so what Ken does too, also 3 hits and leaves the 10 up. I'm taking the 10 down. I'm doing conversion. This is a way to convert over. I have not yet tried this by leaving the layup. So we can do duck and cover and leave the lay and see what happens. Maybe that's a tomorrow thing. Let's try it. Let's see. I don't want insurance, Jen. I want to win. Like I always say, hedge for more. So that $400 nets me 30. I like getting the win on the 7 versus tying. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, I think the $400 is needed. I really do. I think 300 is not enough. If I'm out there for 160 and I'm laying for 300, I'm actually upside down by $10 because of my hard way. All right, acceptable win goal and loss limit, couple $100. Like I got 560 twice. That to me, $200 is the goal. 200 to 250 is the goal. And I'm only bringing this. If I do this, by the way, I'm only bringing 560 and 5. It's all I'm bringing. 560 and 560. That's the whole thing. Right? Again, scope your loss. Let's see, 125. Right? If it's 560 and 5, it's 1,000 and change. What 1120, whatever that is, right? 1120 to win 200 or 250. That's all that it is. The goal is simple. I'm not doing this 10 times. I'm doing it twice. I'm bringing enough for 2 runs through it. If I can make 2 runs, get me a couple $100, outie. I'm not bringing 10 of these. I'm not bringing, $5,000 to try it 10 times. I'm bringing 2 to get my thing. It's either going to work or it's not. You know me. I'll use half my bankroll to get my goal versus 10 shots at it. I think this is a better money management system, but that's me. That's just my mentality. I'd rather not bring 5K. I'll bring $1,200. I'll try it twice. Either today's my day or it's not. And if it is my day, that first couple $100, gone. In and gone. A couple times in a row and I'm out. All right. $10 loss versus 102. Yeah, I hear you. It's again, when we talk about the bridge, it's your risk profile, right? How do you view the risk? Is the risk of 400 to win 30 effectively better than risking 300 to lose 10? When you're at $300, you're a guaranteed loss. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you see it. All right, I gotta run. I gotta get to work. Tomorrow we'll talk more about it. Comments in the comment section, please. We'll talk through the whole thing. And tomorrow, I'm sure Ken and I will talk today too. Tomorrow we'll have an adjustment. That's the whole point, right? Is to go back and adjust this thing. Again, maybe it's stuck in cover and stop playing and let this thing run. Maybe it's stuck in cover and come to the don't. Who knows what it's going to be? We'll try some different stuff. All right. Out of here though for today. Y'all have a great one. I love y'all. God bless everybody. See you on Hump Day. Bye.